Welcome to another episode of The Minority Voice. I'm the host, Jeff Vega, and as usual, I want you to like this and share this and make some comments because, you know, we need to get this message out and let people know that there are minorities out there who are have family values, are conservative, and who have personal responsibilities. So help this get out there, if you would, and love it. So the first issue today I want to address is, you know, as usual, the canceled culture. Last week, they went after a young lady named Gina Carano, and she's an actress on the series Mandalorian. Now, you know what? I haven't watched it. Not much into the Star Wars, and I know a lot of people are, but hey, they went after her. They canceled her, and the thing of it is, okay, one, okay, of course, she's a conservative, Trump supporter, and they said the reason why they did was because she made a comment that the political climate is a lot like Nazi Germany. And so not only did they take her off the series, but her agent cut her, her publicist cut her, everybody just zapped her, if you will. And first, there's two things here. I heard this last week, in this analogy, and I think it's really fitting. You know, this isn't just about silencing voices, but this individual said this is about, it's like abortion. They want to abort any kind of oppositional voice. Not just a silence of you, but destroy you in every aspect of your life. And that's what they did with this young lady. Well, that's what they tried to do, because as Paul Harvey would say, the rest of the story, I'll get to that in a minute. But the real reason wasn't this Nazi quote. The real reason why they canceled this woman is because she's been very outspoken against the tranny movement. And a little background on this lady, and I didn't know, like I said, wasn't following her at all. She used to be an MMA fighter. Now, I don't know if you've ever watched MMA, but you know that's a rough sport. And she is no tea-toting socialite. She'll whoop your straight up ass, okay? All right? And that's who she is. And that's her persona, if you will. And, you know, they didn't like the fact that she was attacking the tranny movement because of, you know, their involvement in women's sports. So by this statement that she made about Nazi, that gave them the excuse to get rid of her. And let me say this, you know, with them trying to deplatform her the whole 9 yards because of the tranny movement, that should be a message to men out there and the church. And we'll talk about a little bit of that later because I'm sorry, but you guys need to step up and let your voices be heard, because I think this whole movement, this tranny, is a lot deeper. But let me just share with you a few other people that got canceled last week. Kevin Sorbos, they just shut down his Facebook page, and you know who he was. He was a Hercules. That's where he got his fame. James O'Keefe from Project Veritas, they shut his page down. And then Chris Harrison, he had to step down from The Bachelor. Not that I ever watched The Bachelor, but they zapped him. And know this, they're eventually going to come and get us all. That's why we need to look at these alternative sites and get on them platforms. And as I mentioned to you before, now I'll tell you the rest of the story for Gina. Ben Shapiro of the Daily Wire, they're into making movies now. So they immediately reached out to her and signed her to a deal to produce another film. And you know what, friends? That's how we got to do it. We got to stick together and give individuals the opportunities to succeed. Because if not, if they think they can win, they'll continue to do that, and they're going to continue to do it. Let's be real about that. But we need to step up. And another aspect too, we need to support people like Ben who are giving these opportunities. And here's the thing too, there's a paradigm shift going on in the film industry too. The way you release movies and show movies now with streaming. A guy like Ben, he's got his own platform, and that's how he released his last movie. And matter of fact, you get a chance, you need to check out his movie. It was called Run, Hide, and Fight. And it's a culturally driven movie about school shootings. And, the left wants to take this victim mentality. But you know what? We're Americans, man. We're not victims. We're victors. But just keep in mind that it's on our shoulders to make an impact. So the next topic I want to touch on, I call it the enemies at the gate. And to go along with our Mondays podcast about Trump and how they went after him, the real issue is what Trump did, and that cannot be undone, is he woke up America. Yeah, they're after him, but, Trump now is just our mouthpiece, but there is a groundswell now of Americans who have had enough. And they are out there and they want to make a difference. And see, the elitists, the establishment, the rhinos, the Washington court, they despise us. And, throughout this campaign, there was a group of so-called Republicans called the Lincoln Project that were openly in opposition of Trump. And, well, if you've heard, and you've had to heard of all the chaos that has happened to that organization, and with all the pedophiles and the leadership and all that. But one of the things that I found out, that one of the biggest supporters of this Lincoln Project, which is supposed to be a Republican group, Chuck Schumer's group, his PAC, gave $1.9 million to this PAC. You see, the swamp in Washington is deep, and they do not want the everyday individual to rise up, because you know what? It's supposed to be, there are our servants, but they are our leaders, or our overlords, if you will. And but you know what? They never stop. So the Lincoln Project, for the most part, is dead, and now there's a new group out there called Country First. And one of the Republican congressmen who voted for impeachment was Representative Adam Kinzinger. There we go, I'll get it out. He started this new group called the Country First, and it's an anti-Trump, and they talk about, bringing back the Republican Party to its roots. Well, my friends, that is just another means of circumventing the people's desires. Don't be fooled. I checked out this guy's videos, and you're going to be seeing a lot more of this guy. This guy is smooth. He's articulate, unlike me. And but you know what? I am naive. Okay, you can't flatter me with your words, because I look at your actions. And this guy, he's a snake, and just keep that in mind. Third issue I want to talk about today is, and I mentioned earlier, it's time for the church to wake up. We're battling this this trans movement, and to me, and I might have mentioned this before, this is an assault on truth, science, and if they can get you to doubt that, they have won. And also, it's an assault on what God has said. You know, in the Bible it said he created male and female, okay? And by you accepting this trans movement, you're saying God hasn't said, basically. So keep that in mind, man. We are fighting darkness here, okay? And church, you have to step up. And take it a step farther, too. Jen Psaki defended Biden's choice on having these transgender be allowed to play high school or athletics, period, whether it's college or whatever. And as I said, where are the men? Where are the dads? And where's the church? We have to step up. And there's another aspect too of this movement that I found out. There's an article on the Blaze that talks about an ex-employee of Planned Parenthood came out and said that the trans kids are their new cash cow. You see, because they're providing these gender-affirming drugs or hormones to these kids now. And, you know, even Planned Parenthood realized that they need to diversify. And we have to, as I said, step up, my friends, because if we don't step up, they're going to take over because they don't stop. They do not stop. So until we meet again next time, Joshua 24:15.